Yeah, back-to-back sessions. So today's second live session is with LJ Interiors, who are based in London, the UK, and we're going to be speaking to them about how they're designing their homes in the current market. What have they been up to in the past with their interior designing, and let's see how they're moving forward with all this lockdown, because yeah, it's one of the most talked about subjects right now: moving, interior designing, construction, all that kind of stuff. So let's get LJ Interiors. Here we go. Hello.
Hi, Murtaza. Hi.
How are you?
It's I'm great, thank you. I'm
Good,
great.
good.
Yeah,
Thank you
good to
so
see
much
you.
for coming on to my live.
Thanks for
This is
inviting
the
me.
this is the first live that I'm doing with an interior designer, so it should be good. I hope. I mean, I've done with architects, with engineers, with planners, with valuers, with everyone from the property industry, but I've not done an interior designer yet. So it's good to have you here and discuss how the interior designing industry is moving forward. What are you guys doing in this current market, and how have you adopted yourself for the foreseeable future, I guess? So before we start, if you can introduce yourself as to who you are, what I know we do. I know you do interiors, but what you do and how you do it. Please go ahead.
So, I started by doing a friend of mine. He had some properties that was for sale, and he was waiting for licensing and some council documents.
Okay.
So I told him, let's rent it out on Airbnb while we get these documents instead of it's lying empty.
Okay.
So we started renting them out, and they were quite busy. And then he started giving me more. So I started going to the short letter industry.
Okay.
And then what happened was one of his properties that was for sale for quite a while, he couldn't sell it. He asked me if I can dress it too. And then a week later, he got an offer. He received an offer. So I decided I'm going into the home staging
The home
industry
staging industry.
because it's much easier because the Airbnb was too much. It's 24 hours.
The cycle.
Too much guest
Yeah.
problems and the guests arriving 24 hours. And every time I was away on holiday, there was every time something happening. So I couldn't. So I decided to go in that direction, and we started dressing homes for clients, and we've seen it made a big difference. The client of ours, he had one property in Bedford, which was a very awkward layout with pillars, and he tried to reduce the price, and after 6 7 months, still no offers. He called me up and we dressed it, and then like 2 weeks later it got sold. So it just gave us the
So
confidence
you
we
think
can.
you're,
Yeah.
you're the go to get it kind of in
Yes.
time.
Yes.
If you're stuck with selling your house, contact LJ Interiors. They also. Um,
And
Before we sort of move on to what you're doing right now, did you always think that you wanted to get into property and interior designing, or when you were at school or college or university or something like that? What were your dreams or aspirations that you want to get on with in life? What did you want to do?
well, so I never saw myself in the design industry, but it just happened to come in. I was looking more in the property industry, as my friends and my whole circle that we all in the property industry. But I
Property
started,
and lettings and all that kind of stuff, or
yeah, lettings management
okay.
and investing,
Okay.
just finding investors. So,
Okay.
but then I really started enjoying the design side of it, and it just we stayed here.
Young age you wanted to get into property, was that the case, or no?
Yes, because my circle, everyone is in property, so we just
Your father?
yes.
your relatives and everyone. That's good to know, because you know a lot of people, they possibly um, study finance, or they study law, or they study something else, and all of a sudden they're into property. Don't know why, but they are there. You know, even me myself, when I started university, I thought I'll get into recruitment, doing human resources and all that kind of stuff. And then when I got married with my wife, she's an architect, and that just changed the whole thought process. And I thought that, okay, you know, I don't think human resources is the right thing, because I want to start my own business, and my own business, my family business, should be looked after by my family. You know, me and my wife and my kids, so forth. When in the future, so that's how I got into property. Um, so when you were into property in the beginning, what were you doing exactly before you got into designing and everything?
Oh, so I used to take empty properties that were on the market and in good locations, and sublet them on Airbnb and all the other sites with permission, obviously, and just rent them out to.
That must have been recent, right? Like what, maybe about
That was that was 2017,
okay.
2000 and
So,
I stopped in 2018. Yeah.
and
So.
before that, before the 2017.
Oh, but before that, I was in the alcohol industry. I was selling wine.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, completely different
wow. So
for a couple of years, and I got to meet a lot of property developers because it was high end clients who drink wine,
okay,
and
and they used to come up to you to possibly uh, send them the alcohol to their property, or
right, yeah, as I used to sell.
possibly nowadays, when it comes to home staging, always you see a bottle of champagne or a bottle
Yes,
of wine. You know, it's all laid out as if the client just has to walk in, open up his bags, party.
and shake their hands.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it was the wine industry. It was completely a switch, and yeah, that's how I'm into the home staging, which was really fun. And it started picking up in 2017 and 18. It was really busy, and we were job after job.
Airbnb model, or no? You're interior designer.
So I was doing both. I was still handling both, but then by the end of 2018, we focused only on the home staging market because it was quite busy.
The good thing you got out of it.
Yes, and it was big. And it was a big headache. It was too much time. The Airbnb market. So we moved on to home staging.
Sorry, I'm going back to the Airbnb model. When you were doing this Airbnb and Booking.com and everything, were there a lot of challenges that you were facing, issues
Yes.
you were facing with the tenants that you were subletting it to? I mean, I know that when it comes to subletting on Airbnb and Booking.com, or even just as a rent-to-rent model kind of thing, the tenant who's taken it from the landlord has to sort of manage the property, the ins and outs of the property, you know,
Right.
kind of stuff, you know, look after the tenants, collect the rent,
Yes.
the pipes, fix the ceiling, fix the paintwork, clean the flat, all that kind of stuff. You know, it can get really challenging. I mean, can you take me through
Yes.
one of your biggest challenge that you faced while you were doing that?
So the biggest challenge was probably having guests, and they were flawed. They were criminals. So they used to use fake credit cards or stolen credit cards from other people, and book through Booking.com last minute. So until somebody realizes they're already out. So they used to book, and um, I I saw it became a pattern, and I used to meet.
With these particular guys only?
Yes.
Wow.
And then I started changing that they have to pay with chip and pin because that's the only way I'm secure when it comes to last minute bookings. So I used to come down with my chip and with my card reader, and they used to put in the card, and instead of putting the pin number, they used to distract me and type in the 16-digit card number. So they didn't slide in the card all the way in. So they typed in manually, and I wasn't covered. It's only covered for chip and pin, and obviously they were chatting with me, and then it comes out as it's being approved, and because it was manually typed in.
Were there? They were fooling you with it.
Yes, in front of my face. Yes.
Wow! Wow! Wow!
And then I realized that I have to stop all last minute bookings because there's through Booking.com only, but not through Airbnb. I was always covered.
Taking these properties from you, I know they were taking it on a fraudulent basis, but were they doing anything illegal in the flat or?
So they used to go there, and they used to, these canisters, this laughing gas.
Yeah.
I used to find them all over the floor. They used to smoke weed and drugs, but they didn't they've never damaged anything. No, they just used to have a place maybe just to chill.
Same group of people again and again and
same circle, same. You can see afterwards it's the same type of people because they knew, and then obviously I stopped, and yeah, it was the same. There's the same circle. You can see.
How many times did you rent them a property?
It was it was twice, because the first time was just I found out that that it's been fraud, and then afterwards I said, okay, let me I'll come with chip and pin, but then they fooled me again, and but it was small money. It wasn't like it was only a couple of days rental, but I just learned and just moved on.
Scam artists, aren't they?
Sorry?
Proper scam artists.
Yes.
It's amazing how people do that kind of stuff. So then once you sort of and what made you leave the industry in 2019? You mentioned obviously we didn't have any COVID or lockdown or anything at that.
No, I was actually full. It was back-to-back bookings. There was always, all my apartments were full. They were all generating money. They were all, I had 5 apartments and all in central London, all busy. But it was 24 hours work. The guests arrived at midnight, and they don't understand where the keys were for some reason, and they start calling me where the keys, and they don't speak English, and then I have to kind of just figure out with them, or there's a problem, the boiler stops working while I'm on holiday. So it was like 24 hours work, and it wasn't something that you can just switch off your phone, and so it was always having this responsibility. You can't even have a drink of alcohol or a night out because maybe something will happen in one of those 5 flats. So
there was a lot of stress that was caused.
Responsibility, because I was responsible for all the guests and my reputation. So obviously I wanted to have the best reviews, which I did have, and as well responsible for the apartment, because if anything happens there, it's my responsibility. So it was a lot of responsibility, which didn't pay, which it wasn't worth for the money I was earning. This 24-hour
putting in, it wasn't.
No, it didn't. No. So then I've moved on to home staging when I've gained my confidence, when I staged my first flat.
Just got up one day and you said, "That's it. I'm leaving."
No, I didn't. I staged. I dressed one home for Airbnb, but it was for sale.
Got a fan, Lazer. You're the best.
And I staged it, and I dressed it for Airbnb. And while we just put it up on the website, it was already it was the sales agents used to come and sell as well. And a week later, they received an offer. And this apartment was like 6 months just standing empty. So I said to myself, okay, I'm into the home staging business, because it's not 24-hour work, and it's much more enjoyable.
Yep.
And so I've moved on then, and then I started approaching.
And this was at the same time that you were doing the short let sort of thing.
Yes. So I started to juggle both.
Yep.
And then the home staging became quite busy, so I said, okay, it's time to pause and stop the short-let in the industry. Where I've stopped that and moved on full time to home
Now,
staging.
full time. So we're on this interior designer model that you're doing right now, and I've seen some of the posts that you've put on Instagram and the highlights that you have, and I can see the certain developments that you've done, apartments that you've done, some great colors and great features that you've used. You know, I mean, a lot of times I look at the pictures of interior designing from some of the UK's top known interior designers, and they all look the same, you know. But when I saw your posts, I was like, wow, there are certain colors that people could, you know, would love to have it in their homes. Um, the biggest nightmare that an interior designer has is meeting the minds of the owner.
Yes.
How do you go about that?
So most clients, they trust us because they're hiring us. It's not like they're buying the furniture. They're just renting it for a couple of months to make their home stand out, and they have their trust in us because we've been doing this for a couple of years.
Okay.
And they know that we will understand what sells in which area and how to dress and what to put, what not to put. And of course, there's some clients who have a specific requirements, which we'll obviously we'll do whatever they want. But most clients would.
Do you ever tell them that, look, I don't think this is going to look right, or this coffee table does not look right here, it's
Yes.
just big, or something like that? Do you ever come across that sort of situation?
Yes, yes. So we'll run it through and we'll show them, we'll give them ideas and explain them why it works as well. What's the reason behind? Because it's not just we're going to dump a sofa here and a table here. There's everything has a reason. So we will explain why and they will understand it. And most clients were like, oh, okay, just go ahead and
Do it.
yeah, just do it.
Where do you source most of your furniture from? Is it from the UK, or is it like?
Yes, from Scotland mainly, and the UK. Yeah, all our suppliers are based here, and
Go to visit these suppliers to get the stock, or no, you just order it online? And
we
when
we have so we always going to exhibitions and trade shows, and we always find new suppliers and new relationships. So we mainly find the suppliers who have a quick turnaround, because we have stock, but sometimes we need things fast, and we can't have 6-7 weeks waiting time. So
do you store these items in a warehouse? Or?
yes. So we have our warehouse, but the business model of is for us, for our furniture to be stored at someone else's house, and they should pay us money rather than having it stored in our warehouse. But we always have things coming back and things
Exactly.
going out.
So you got that space to store also, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
And we always have stock, and then we always keep and we have our fastest suppliers. So if we need things on the fast turnaround, we can get that too. And we started doing now the furniture packs and all other things, because some people just want to dress a home, but they want to keep the furniture and sell the home with the furniture. So we do. So,
I mean, a lot of times I've noticed as well that when I go and do viewings and stuff, and if the apartment or the house is empty, you have a different sort of facial impression.
It starts off actually online when somebody goes online on Zoopla or anywhere or Rightmove, and their first impression, if they see an empty house and they see a furnished house, they would stop when if something attracts you. It's like when you go on Booking.com and you look for a hotel. And if the hotel looks attractive, you'll go in and start looking and start reading and so it starts online first.
I mean, the hotel can look great at the outside, but
yes,
inside absolutely crap, you know.
If you realize most hotels, they will put the lobby and the nice areas as the first picture, and this will attract people, and it will just gain people to come in and just look, and this will attract viewings, because people will see, okay, this place is being dressed, it looks attractive.
Your your advice to landlords or property owners or vendors out there is, don't sell the house empty, but sell
Yeah,
it.
I always tell them, is my best advice is, because I know with property owners, they're always happy when somebody comes in with an offer. Then they're more than happy to reduce the price by 10, 15K or 20K. That's then people that they don't think twice, because they're like, okay, let's close a deal. But when it comes to investing this £3,000 or £2,000 or £4,000, they think twice, and it's like, no, it's not worth it. And this can save you that 15K this 15K of the price reduction you're about to give to somebody, by impressing and getting more buyers to come over.
Yes, it's always the case. I mean, when I go and sell properties, you know, and it's like, the property is worth, let's say, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. And then when you are negotiating your fees, and it becomes like, oh, can you bring your fee down? Can you do this?
Yes.
I'm like, you're getting £1 million out here. Come on. And you're telling me you can't pay that certain amount of fees. But it's how the psychology works, right?
Yes.
I want to save even £1,000 if I can.
Yes.
But
because
when doing the deal, I'll take a dip of, like you mentioned, 15.
Yeah, because the difference is, most people, they don't want to take out more money from their pocket beforehand. But once there is the £1 million, they're happy to give off a chunk of that money. But it's just a shame, because you could actually save yourself. First of all, you'll get a lot more buyers to come over and view the place, because you will stand out.
Right. When homes and all that kind of stuff, people do get attracted.
Yes.
The right colors, the right furniture, the right setting, it all comes together.
Yeah, because a lot of times they come into, there's a small bedroom, and they can't visualize, how do you fit the bed here? Do we even have room? And once it's dressed, people see, okay, this is the size of this room. It fits this fits. Does it work for me, or doesn't it work for me?
Absolutely.
And it just gives people a much clearer vision of what they're going to be, or what they're going to have. And also, it makes people feel homey as well when they see the home is dressed up, and they actually feel like it's their living space. So it gives them more of a push, and more of a...
Quick question. What do your rates start from in terms of furniture, and what do they go up to?
So a one bedroom, we charge 2,995 in London, and the outskirts, and that includes 3-month rental. And no extra fees, so that's including the setup, the pickup,
and you'll
everything.
Move it out, everything.
We'll design it, and then afterwards, if they want to keep it, it's a monthly fee of 10% of the invoice, so 295 per month.
This furniture, which is for 2,995, if someone wants to buy it,
so then we'll give them, and then we'll give them a purchase price, which will be a better price as well, because he's already paid
the
rental fees. So I'll bear in mind that that he's paid that, so we'll give something off. And yeah, it's a lot of people on single homes, because if you use if it's a individual home, most people have it sold within 3 months. That's prior to now, the whole COVID-19.
Yeah.
And so people never kept more than 3 months, just on big developments, when somebody used to dress one show home and have 10 flats for sale. Exactly. So they used to send us and say, okay, move this from flat A to flat 3, from flat 3 to flat 4, because the show home somehow used to sell.
That sort of has a negative impact, because certain apartments are not the same, and then you can't fit the furniture the right way.
Right. So they would give us the most difficult one to sell. So the smallest bedrooms and the most awkward spaces. So we start off there. Yeah, some would give us 2 flats.
Okay.
And then once that's sold, then we'll move it to another layout, another difficult layout, and just work our way around. But the easy flats and the ones that's easy to sell, I've told them it's not worth dressing up because it's just a waste of money. Yeah.
What's the most expensive dress up you've done?
Most expensive one was in Hyde Park. We dressed a £3 million property. This was just now in February.
Oh, amazing!
And he received an offer right before the COVID-19. However, the buyer was an international buyer, and he wasn't aware of the stamp duty of a £500,000 stamp duty. So he backed out. He backed out. So our furniture is still there.
Recommend him to me. Maybe I can do something about it.
Well, the
sale.
Oh, okay.
We can work something out. How are you adopting yourself during these times?
So
forward as well, because obviously some parts of lockdowns have eased up, some have not. So how have you been adopting? How are you adopting for the future?
Right. So we happen to have a very busy January, February, and half March, which is 80% of our inventory is actually out now, and all our clients I've communicated with everyone. I've given them 2 months free rental just because because I know I understand it's tough. So I've
new clients as well, or no? It's not
everyone.
Okay.
I've given them just or a discount or a nice discount or so just to show that I'm there for them.
That's not bad.
And yeah,
really good offer.
Yeah, it was, and people really appreciated this.
Have you still got it or not yet?
Well, we can definitely
work something
out. Yeah. So I'm just trying to accommodate because I know the market is going to take time. It's going to take a while, and I'm more than happy to help out and contribute because it's a tough time. So if everyone gives, if we give up something a bit, and just we
it's all about
contribute. Yeah,
the community, bringing all of us together in it. It's a good thought. One final question that I have that I ask every one of my guests that come onto my live session is, what is the advice you would give the youngsters or the people, the human race that is going through all these negative times right now? Any positive piece of advice that you have for them?
Yeah, so my best positive piece of advice is this 2 months, which we were closed, we didn't work. I've caught up on all things which I had to which I've always in life I didn't have time for catching up. Always I've pushed off, and this gave me this break in life to catch up on all the outstanding, which I always said I will do it one day. I will do it one day. I've actually done my whole list of and I just caught up with everything, and it's a shame because this time will never come back. It will never happen again, hopefully. Absolutely. And just to waste this time it's just a waste, and just utilize every minute and do things. It doesn't have you don't have to make money, but it can be in the personal way, health, relationship, or anything. Just utilize this time and make the most out of it, because this free time is gone soon and we're all back to full-time work.
Yeah, that was amazing, you know. So it's good that, you know, I think this is the first. I've thought about this a lot of times, that the amount of work that we sort of always thought about, that okay, we'll do it one day, we'll come to it. You're the first person to come on here and say that. A lot of other people have given a lot of other positive pieces of advice. I'm grateful for all the positive advice, the knowledge everyone has given out here. But, you know, there are certain things that you look for and it's good that you came up with it. But thank you so much, Lazer, for coming on. It's been a pleasure having you on board and discussing your journey so far. Wish you all the best in these times and times for the future. And I hope that I'll contact you one day to get the properties that I have on board in my portfolio for sale, recommend your services to those vendors and landlords. So I'm sure we
I
can
appreciate.
great business. But let me know about that Hyde Park one.
Yes, I'll find out.
If they want to sell it, then I can do something about it. But thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Take care.
All right. And bye.
So that was Lazer from LJ Interiors. It was good to know about how they've been home staging their properties in London, in the UK. Do go and check out his profile. Some of the furnishings that he uses in the homes are absolutely amazing. I mean, I was surprised. I was amazed at the colors and the pieces of furniture that they've used. Amazing work. And like he mentioned, they've got an offer, the 2-month free. Do go and check him out. Speak to him about it. If you need time to get your property sold and market ready, all that kind of stuff, do go and check him out. So thank you so much to all those people that tuned in. It's been a pleasure to have you and share out all this positivity, all this knowledge that I can. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.